Hi, this is Steve Dam. I'm the president of Spec Innovations, and I want to talk to you a little bit about our tool, Innoslate. First, a little bit about Spec. We've been in business since 1993, working for a variety of different customers, providing systems engineering services. In 2012, we decided to release our Innoslate product, which is a cloud-native tool for model-based systems engineering, and also supports program management. I think you'll find that it's a very easy to use tool and it covers the entire life cycle. The reason we embarked on developing this tool was we found that the tools that are out there today and at that time and even today were difficult to use. It took quite a while to come up to speed on the languages and the developments that you needed to understand and use the tool effectively. The models weren't executable, or at least they didn't have the ability to execute them directly in terms of both discrete event and Monte Carlo simulation, both of which are essential to systems engineering. They also had limited lifecycle management. They would do maybe one area very well, like requirements, but not be able to do the modeling. Or you do the modeling, but you couldn't do the requirements. You may not have a test case ability, a V&V capability. So those kinds of things. A lot of things that were missing out there in trying to get a full life cycle. We were having to kludge together about 7 different tools to do what we do with Innoslate. And then last but definitely not least was lack of collaboration. We worked on major efforts where we had hundreds of modelers trying to bring their models together, and it was a total nightmare. So we embarked on Innoslate to solve these problems, and particularly simplicity was one of the first things we tackled by helping develop an open standard language called Lifecycle Modeling Language. LML is open and available to anybody to use. We adopted it very quickly, and we've used Innoslate as a test bed to improve it over time. The other thing was, by going cloud-based, we reduced the installation problem on the client side. And that's a big difference because we find that sometimes many of these tools take hours to download and install on their desktops. So that's a huge savings right there for you. You can instantly jump on and use the tool. Cloud also gives us scalability. We tested it to over 10 million entities and 1,000 simultaneous users. So it's truly enterprise grade. Also collaboration features. There's real-time indicators. We have a group and private chat. I think you're going to find it a lot easier to communicate with everybody using this tool. Also, of course, we support the full life cycle, not only requirements management, but analysis. We also have full modeling capability, not just the 9 SysML diagrams, but 26 diagram types and 2 chart types and counting. We're going to be adding them as much as we can. Also, our test center gives us the ability to capture test information. We have test suites, test cases. I think you'll find that's very helpful for your V&V activities. And of course, documents view, probably one of the most unique things about our tool. We have the ability to offer living documents in the tool. So you can take the results of your modeling, research, your analysis, all your different factors and bring them together into the documents, which you ultimately have to create and produce for the customers. We also have prototyped and developed and used now many times the model-based review approach. And so from that approach, you never have to actually put it to a Word file. You can have everybody interact together within the tool. Accuracy is also available. We have full discrete event simulator and Monte Carlo, and they do simulate cost, schedule, and performance factors. They are integrated, the functional and physical model together. Also, for accuracy, on the softer side, we brought in natural language processing. That's a key part technology for artificial intelligence that we've applied throughout the tool. Also, we have interoperability. We can generate representations like all the SysML diagrams or the DODAF dashboard. We also have an import from many other tools, not just requirements management tools, but particularly we do have a RecIF import capability as well. So if you look at the life cycle, and this is the way we like to look at the V, we start with documents view. That's where you bring in your documentation, you've imported it, or you're creating documents from scratch. A special type of work documents view is requirements view. That brings in our quality checker and the quality score using that NLP technology. Modeling, I mentioned all the models that we have, almost anything you can imagine. And by the way, if you have any good ideas for additional diagrams you'd like to see, please just let us know. And we have a CAD viewer, so this is part of our integration into the digital engineering space. We have the ability to work with the CAD information. Simulation, so we, again, discrete event Monte Carlo, and again, last but not least, our test center. But you know, there's a very programmatic side to systems engineering as well, so we do support that side of things, and that includes risk analysis using both the risk matrix and the risk burn down chart, timeline diagrams, and cost information. Cost is an independent variable. Another kind of key feature of the tool is cross-project relationships. Within the organizational sandbox that you have, security sandbox, you can have projects talk to each other and share data. So that lets you have different people work independently, but then bring it together into a master file, and so master project. And so with that, if that cross-project relations and the permissions, if for some reason somebody doesn't have access, or you don't want them to have access to that information in the master project, they would see redaction bars. Also, we have workflow that can be set up not just for issues and requirements as we're showing here, but any enumerated attribute. So the status, for example, on test cases can be used in this workflow as well. And of course, collaboration. Wow, workflow and permissions are part of that. Chat, of course. Commenting, you can add comments to any object in the database. There's a comments tab in the diagrams view, so you can comment on the diagram. All that comes together to help you do the model-based reviews. Of course, we also have version control history for every object as well. Also, there's baselining, and for the test cases, you have test cycles. So that, again, lets you do a lot of your configuration management. And of course, adding roles and teams. It's easy to use. There's a lot of drag and drop. There's a sidebar for attributes. It's very responsive because it's been developed at all the latest web standards. Another thing that's unique about us is our versioning. Version 4.4 indicates that it's architecture version 4, which means we've re-architected the tool 3 times since its first release. That's really important because that's best practices for commercial tools. However, many tools do not do this on a regular basis, and it is very important to keep up with the new technologies and changes. So some of the additions that we added to our digital engineering capabilities was a GitHub viewer in 4.4, MATLAB and STK integration. That's for co-simulation with those 2 tools, desktop tools. We added a find and replace, and on, just many new features that came in, and of course, the bug fixes, which we all need. Now, if I had time, I'd give you a live demo, but please stop by our booth and get a live demo. We're happy to give that to you anytime, or contact us through our website, innoslate.com, for a live demo. So please take a look at us. I think you're going to find that you can build smarter, faster, cheaper. We've proven that we're the most capable tool out there. I think you can really make your systems engineering practice better using Innoslate.